Hello, everyone, and today I'm going to tell you the story of the Skittle War. So, it all started on a retreat with my church. I was on a church retreat, and we had supper. So it was like a Mexican themed dinner. It was very good. And then we went and did some activities in the evening, and then we had cabin time. And then it was bedtime at 12 a.m. Yes, midnight. It's always midnight, which is our bedtime, but it's awesome. We're a bunch of dudes. We love that sort of stuff. So, we are just all here in this like dark room with the moonlight coming in. It's all silent. We all don't want to go to bed, but we know we have to. So, anyways, we'll just sleep. We're not sleeping yet. Actually, some of us were dozing off, but very few. Maybe like one or two. But we were all just in this dark room, and then one of our leaders, he gets up out of bed, walks out of the door, and just closes it without a word. He just gets up, walks out, and leaves. So we're all just here so confused. Even the two other leaders, they don't know what he's doing, but we're just there confused, and we're just waiting a bit. And then we look outside of our windows, and there are these dudes running in the woods at midnight in the dead of winter. Like, it's crazy. We just see these dudes running in the woods, and we're like, is that our leader? Is that what he's doing out there? But no, no. But yeah, we thought that. And so we seriously thought our leader went outside and was running in the woods with a bunch of other guys. And shortly after, maybe about 5 minutes of waiting, the door opens, and these dudes poke their heads in, take tortilla rolls, and just throw them all over our room like frisbees. Literally everywhere. They just throw these tortilla rolls in and then just leave. And we are just speechless to what just happened. But it was not our leader. We're still waiting on him, and we have no idea what he's doing. And apparently, those were seniors, and that is what you call a senior prank. Yes, they went around to all the cabins, threw tortilla rolls in them when people were sleeping, and just left. But, yes. We just keep waiting. We have no idea what's going on. And we are so confused to why tortillas are being thrown in our cabin, why our leader left, and why in the world are there dudes running in the woods at 12 a.m. So we're just waiting, and the door finally opens, and it's our leader. He's back, and he's carrying something. And so he just walks inside. He goes up to his top bunk and takes out one of the bags. He opens the bag, and it's a Skittle. He takes the Skittle and throws it at a student. And then he does it again. And again. And he just gets to the point when he's throwing Skittles at us. And I'll let you know. We were on the side of the room. Yes, I also was on a top bunk bed. And I was on his side of the room. And we were on the side where the door was. And so there are these, the students, most of these students were on the other side. He was just pelting them with Skittles at this point. And we realized he went and got Skittles, bags of Skittles, and brought them back and was throwing them at us. And we were like, what, we were going, there's Skittles all over the floor. What are you doing? And he's like, it's okay. We'll just clean them up in the morning. And we were like, okay. So, after some throwing of Skittles around, this other student gets up out of his bunk bed, walks over to the leader, and the leader gives him a bag of Skittles. And he goes back to his bunk on the other side of the room and opens it up and starts throwing Skittles at his fellow students. And I'm just up here watching. I'm wide awake. I'm having a great time. And I'm like, I would really like to get in on some of this. So I went up to the leader, and he gave me a bag of Skittles as well. So there was the three of us, the leader, me, and another student, all throwing Skittles on everyone below us. We all had top bunks. So we're having a wonderful time. And the one of the guys on the floor in the sleeping bag, he's like, where'd all these Skittles come from? he was dozing off, but he wasn't able, we wouldn't let him sleep. He had Skittles being thrown at him. I continually threw Skittles at him, and since he was in his sleeping bag, they were getting in his sleeping bag. And you know what that means. When Skittles meet lots of heat in a small, compact space, yes, the Skittles started to melt in his sleeping bag while he was in there. So he had this sticky goo in there with him, just bugging him for the whole night. And he's like, they're melting. We continued to pelt them at all the students. Some of them, about half of the students were sleeping. They were starting to wake up, and they woke up with Skittles in their beds, on their heads, everywhere. They could not understand what was going on. So there was this guy. There was the door that opened, and these guys actually, they opened the door, and we all just look over, and they take chunks of ice and just they take whole-on snowballs and throw them in the cabins. So we now have our room covered in tortillas, ice and snow, and hundreds, if not thousands, of Skittles all over the floor. And some people are still sleeping, and they're knocked out. Nothing can get them up. So there's this one guy named, we'll call him Billy. So Billy is still, we could not believe it. Billy was the last one sleeping, and he was out like a rock. Nothing could wake him up. Now, Billy was laying down in his bed. He was shirtless, and his torso was not covered. So his torso was just out in the open, and since he was shirtless, he was more able to feel stuff, I guess. So some guys, some Skittles were passed around, and they took Skittles and placed them. They put a pile of Skittles on Billy's chest and just waited. Nothing happened. Billy was still sound asleep. We could not believe it. So we all just start throwing Skittles at him, trying to wake him up, but nothing is. Man is getting pelted with Skittles on all parts of his body, with a pile of Skittles square in the middle of his chest, on his bare skin. That has to be cold. So, how is he not waking up? So I was like, all right. I worked on my aim I have great aim to begin with, but I was determined to become as accurate as possible. And I started throwing them, just pelting him, sniping him from my top bunk. And I just was like, dink, 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 right on his head. Every single shot just about hit his head, his face, and it was just dink, 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 dink. Oh, there's another one. Dink, dink. And something happened. He started to wake up. So we all go silent, and he's just like, his eyes open. He looks down on his chest at the pile of Skittles, and he's like, he gets up and he starts like, he's yelling and angry, and he starts climbing the bunks to take the Skittles away, and I'm still here throwing Skittles at him. He has no idea where they are coming from. He's so aggravated right now. He is not happy. And we're having the time of our lives. I'm up here. We're laughing our heads off. We're having a great time. I get to snipe dudes at 1 a.m. at this point with a bag of Skittles at a retreat. I love retreats so much. But yes, so there's absolute chaos. People are yelling. The sound of Skittles ricocheting off of the shelves, off of the bunk beds, off people. It's absolute chaos. And finally, one of the leaders who is trying to get a good night's rest, he yells, "Shut up!" And everyone goes silent. And that is where it ended. Just one leader, he got angry. We weren't making the students angry. Some of the students got mad, but also one of the leaders did. And unfortunately, the Skittle War had to come to an end. It was fun while it lasted, but the time came for us all to put away our Skittles. I placed my bag of Skittles. I still had half a bag left, by the way. I placed it under my pillow, got in my sleeping bag, all snuggled and cozied up with my brown blanket, and just closed my eyes. It took me a good 10 minutes at least to fall asleep. But I closed my eyes and was ready for some rest. But I was invigorated and excited. Nothing could get me to sleep in that war. So, that was the story of the Skittle War. And yes, if you want to know, we did spend at least 15 minutes the next morning picking up all the Skittles. There had to have been thousands of them all over, like at least 1,000 Skittles all over everything, under the beds, in the beds, behind the shelves, everywhere. In the bathroom even. They traveled everywhere. You could find them everywhere. I literally walked into the shower, and there was just a yellow Skittle on the floor. I was like, what? And yes, it was such a fun retreat. We got to learn about God and Jesus and grow our faith and relationships with him. It was an awesome, awesome retreat. One that I will never forget. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and God bless.